Hello, this is Palico Padge and welcome to a new Let's Play series onto the channel by the name of the Innsmouth Case by Robotpumpkin Games. Oh, couldn't get that out all in one word, never mind. So, with the last game being put to bed, Clanfolk, which was a little bit frantic, didn't quite know what was going on. And because it's getting to the point of the year now where the days are drawing in and the nights are getting longer and it's bit cooler outside, like to wrap ourselves up with a nice warm mug of cocoa and watch some scary films, I figured let's give this a go. It's been on my list for a while to do. It's a bit of a choose your own adventure in the likes of HP Lovecraft, which sounds interesting, and it would appear to have a little bit of humour about it as well. So I thought, let's give it a crack, shall we? So here we are, new game. Let's crack on, shall we? It's not a lot really to say more than that. I haven't. This is as much as I've seen about the game. I haven't wanted to jump too far into it and spoil anything. I just figured it'd be good just to go in there, blind playthrough. I mean, you can't go far wrong with mechanics when it comes to choose your own adventures. You just choose what you want to do and you see what happens. So, well, yeah, let's do it, shall we? New game. Boston, Massachusetts. Your office. We are fans of the strange world of Innsmouth, but we recognise the problematic beliefs of HP Lovecraft. This game has been produced by a group of people who believe in inclusion and equality. And that's by Robotpumpkin Games and Ensemble Entertainment. They're the publishers, just in case you wanted to know. So with that being said, and without further ado, let's do this. Your progress in the story will be saved at the end of each chapter. There are 35 chapters in total. At the end of a chapter, the screen fades to black and a green save icon appears in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Aha! We recommend you always end the game after such a save point to make sure none of your progress is lost. Okie dokie. Boston, 21st of September. The last rays of sunshine filter through the blinds of your empty office. The pathetic stench of whiskey, cold cigarette smoke and canned ravioli fills the air. The screeching tyres and constant beeping of car horns out there on the street tell you that it's gone 8 PM. People are on their way home, finishing their day. You should join them. So I decide to either stay at my desk or go home. Well, I figure I'm this lonely, out for himself, PI, nothing better to do other than sit at my desk and drink whiskey. So that's what I'm going to do. Or eat ravioli. Your day was long and frustrating. You are running out of ideas on how to handle the calls of people who want money from you. A cold shiver runs down your spine as you flick through a pile of unpaid bills. On the top of the pile is a reminder that your landlady, you're 2 months behind on the rent. Oh, no. The next one is a three-figure invoice from a games company from in-app purchases. You tried to claim them as business expenses in your last investigation, but somehow your client refused to pay. Worth a punt. It's always worth a punt. Then there's the second reminder from your internet provider threatening to cut off your connection. You might take legal action because without the internet you can't work or live. Da, da, da. You really need more in-app purchases. Your lawyer, a cigarette, a little fresh air. Wow, we're old school. It's going to have to be a cigarette. You're toying with the idea of a cigarette when you catch a glimpse of the unpaid bill from your doctor. Maybe you don't need a smoke after all. You breathe a deep sigh, and may not have been a successful day, but at least it's over. You're looking forward to a classic Friday night, watching old mystery series at home in sweatpants and getting drunk on cheap booze. Now that sounds like my Friday night, except it's zombie films. Very much looking forward to this Friday coming up. The boy is going away to his grandparents' house, and we're going to have a sesh on the old zombie movies. Since the early afternoon, you have been staring at the foreboding bottle of liqueur at the other end of the room. I said liqueur, it's liquor, isn't it? Liqueur. That's like Baileys. It's not Baileys. This is hard whiskey, damn it. Up until now, a vague sense of professionalism has kept you from drinking yourself into oblivion. Now nothing stands in the way. Boom. Oh, that does. Suddenly you hear someone at the door. So I can say, who is it? Or don't make a sound. Playing it coyly. Don't make a sound. You freeze and hold your breath. No, 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 no. Nobody will ruin your well-deserved evening. You're as quiet as a mouse. You listen intently. The woman just outside the door knocks again. Pesky clients. Oh, well. They always say, this job would be great if it wasn't for the customers. I can see you through the window. Pretend to be a statue. I'll give up and let her in. I don't owe her anything. I mean, I do owe a lot of people a lot of things, but I don't owe her anything. I'm going to pretend to be a statue. This is messing with your evening's well-deserved relaxation. You're still not moving, so with a little luck, the stranger will give up and leave you alone. You hear the doorknob twist. Worth a try. The door handle is moving. You probably should have locked it. Do I hide under the desk with my whiskey and unlit cigarette? No, I think we've got to give up at this point. If she's incessant on coming in, we should probably address that. So, who is it? The door slowly cracks open with a timid creak. The unknown guest pauses. Then, in a breathy and melodic tone, you hear a woman utter, "Hello?" Your insides cramp. You suddenly realise that you haven't cleaned your office at all this year. That's alright. You quickly try to clean up or invite her in. You know what? This is me. If you can't accept who I am, then we have no business with each other. I mean, I know I got big bills to pay. A lot of in-app purchases. God knows what game it's for. But even so, this is me. Accept me or be gone, woman. By the light of the desk lamp, you can now see more than a silhouette. A breathtaking woman lights up your office. No doubt older than 40, maybe even 50, hard to say. Clad in black, a skin-tight dress culminating in a décolleté that seems to defy the laws of gravity. A smoky eyeshadow, as dark as algae washed ashore. Blonde, coiffed, wavy hair under a dark beret. The faint light of the setting sun catches in the strands of her hair, and you wonder how many heads this woman must have turned during her prime. It's a bit harsh. She's completely different from your usual customers. Nervous bankers with sweat stains under their armpits, convinced their wives have something going with the mailman. Every move she makes is calculated grace. Smooth as an eel, she walks towards you and sits down on the corner of your desk. You know I have a chair, right? Determined, she walks towards you and sits down on the corner of your desk. We said that. Which is a little bold, which makes you blush. Yeah, it's a little bold. Which is a little bold, without asking you first, but as a professional, you're not giving anything away. She seems to want to play the seductive damsel in distress. The quiet, amused voice of your subconscious is pleased that this stranger may be sharing your enthusiasm for film noir cliches. A far louder voice is surprised that this woman seems to think that a sexy pose and revealing clothes could win you over, and both voices agree that they don't like being manipulated. You don't think that the stranger is perched on your table is trying to recover from a hard-working day as a lingerie model, and therefore you see no logical reason for her behaviour. Just how some chicks are. When she begins to speak, her voice is smoky and full of promise. My name is Dahlia Marsh. I'm looking for a private investigator. I was told you are one of the best. She extends her hand. Kiss her hand, or you've come to the right place, lady, or decline. Again, we're being a hard-nosed PI, so you've come to the right place, lady. What can I do for you? You sit back in your chair and fold your hands over your stomach. The woman seems a little irritated that her provocative behaviour seems to have had no effect on you. She moves from the edge of the desk and sits down on the chair opposite you. Yes, She clears her throat. As she continues to speak, the smoky seductiveness creeps back into her voice. My name is Dahlia. I need help. I mean, it's rude to decline. I'm cold, but I'm still a professional. So what's up? It's about my daughter Tabitha. She has disappeared. You're pulling out paper and pencil. This is going to be a walk in the park. A walk in the kidnapped kids park. Well, when did you see her last? And where? The woman puts on a fake smile. We live in Innsmouth. It's a small port town north of Arkham. You frown. This is a bit vague. What was your child doing when you last saw her? What hobbies does she have? Oh, you know, kid stuff. They just run around and play with their yo-yos, that sort of thing. Dahlia nervously combs her hands through her hair. So, does your daughter have any friends? Yo-yos? What about her father? What does your daughter look like? We better start off with the basics. I mean, I don't even know what the hell she looks like. She could have 3 eyes, for all I know. She's only 8, and the sweetest girl you can imagine. She's been missing without a trace since last week. None of her schoolmates have seen her, and no one knows where she might have gone. She hands you a photo. Look, this is my little munchkin. Well, alright. Good heavens, is this supposed to be a joke? Is that really the face of a child, or a shoddy photo edit? Are you being filmed as part of a reality TV show? A bit of stomach acid and the last bite of lunch slowly but surely make their way up into the back of your mouth. Nice. You throw up in the drawer of your desk or swallow it? It's rude, and regardless, it's still her daughter, so I'm going to swallow it. With narrow eyes, you swallow the bile and involuntarily pull her face. Dahlia continues to look at you hopefully. She obviously didn't notice your little mishap. That was close and could have been unpleasant. I'm so desperate. Her eyes lock with yours. So don't you think there's something strange about your child, or ask more questions about the case? Yeah, I'm not one to judge, so let's just ask more questions. Dahlia nervously combs her hands through her hair. So, does your daughter have any friends? Yo-Yo's father? I have no further questions. So, already said that friends haven't said anything, but I suppose they would be good leads, so I can go and talk to them myself. Does your daughter have any friends she might be staying with? Classmates? Sports club members? Anything like that? Dahlia silently shakes her head. Very strange. You're about to ask if the girl at least had imaginary friends, but you hold back. What about her father, I suppose, is the next logical question to ask. What about Tabitha's father? Are you separated? Often children reappear with family members. Dahlia smiles sadly. My little one can't swim well enough for that yet. Your pen remains on the same spot on the notepad. What was that supposed to mean? Dahlia's about to continue. Yeah, let her talk. Go for it, girl. Dahlia turns her gaze away from you and looks dreamily, no, longingly out of the window. Her father was a fisherman, like most in the village. A few years ago he went out to sea but never returned. His boat was washed ashore weeks later. His colleagues told me that he had finally followed the call of the waves. You keep quiet for a moment. Deceased family members are always a sensitive subject. My sincere condolences. She seems calm. Oh, somehow I always knew that moment would come. I think my husband is in a better place now, and at some point I'll join him. You take a closer look at Dahlia's outfit. Judging by her behaviour and clothes, you never would have taken her to be a fisherman's wife. So, yeah, it's rude to be asking about money, although obviously that is a question we need to ask at some point. So, anything else? Oh, yo-yos. Yeah, okay. Hold on, yo-yos? Ring, ring? Can you hear that? It's the 90s calling, and they want their outdated toys back. Dahlia blushes. Normally you'd find this quite attractive, but the case of a missing girl beckons and you're utterly unconvinced by the way this woman pretends to be a mother. She remains silent. I'm a PI. It is my job to delve into these things, so let's confront her about it. Something's fishy here. You have a nose for this sort of thing. That's why you became a private investigator. Or to be more precise, that's why you took an online detective course. That for a one-off fee provided the necessary qualification. It's time to take your visitor to task. Yeah, why did you come to me? You get out of your chair. Innsmouth is several miles away from here. Why do you want to hire me? I wouldn't even hire myself. Dahlia crosses her arms. What do you care? Do you want to be paid or not? Yeah, I'm still loyal to the game, so, or to the job, should I say. So right now, I just want the truth. You're sticking to your principles. That's exactly what your instructor warned you about. Still, it feels good. Dahlia takes a step back and releases her tightly crossed arms. I already tried loads of other investigators. Anyone who seemed trustworthy, really. But no luck. That's why I'm coming to you. Oh, well, I suppose a backhanded compliment is still a compliment. Yeah, ouch. Well, I suppose we better take it on or the game ends here, doesn't it? You nod. A missing persons case. Nothing unusual. The conventional little girl runs away from home after reading her first romance novel. Usually they hide at the edge of the forest or in a library. Should be pretty straightforward. Before you can say anything, she drops a photo of the child and a roll of bills on your desk. For your expenses. You nod slowly, trying not to drool down the front of your shirt. You haven't seen this much money in ages. You don't have much time to prepare. A quick search reveals that only one bus goes to Innsmouth, and only once a day. A pattern emerges in your research. The few news items related to this little coastal town are all about missing persons. In addition, you find some rather old-fashioned articles that praise the coastal town as a secret holiday destination. The best fish, untouched beach promenade, authentic fishing people are the recurring buzzwords. Dahlia has given you the address at which you're supposed to drop off her daughter as soon as you find her. She also wrote down her phone number on the child's photo. You take another look at the picture before you pack your things. Ah. The next morning you travel by bus or by hitchhiking? I mean, by bus. Why not? We got some money. Boston bus station. Boston, 22nd of September. Your journey begins at a busy bus station. There's supposed to be a bus line that departs from here to Innsmouth. Buses, you think to yourself, are not only an environmentally friendly means of transportation, they're also easy on your wallet. Sadly, the departure boards aren't much of help. New York, Maine, Rhode Island, no trace of Innsmouth as a destination. You wander around for a while until you notice a cleaner eating a sandwich on the side of one of the vending machines. You look around. Talk to the cleaner, it's all I do, I investigate. Excuse me, where can I find the bus to Inns? Without letting go of his sandwich, the cleaner points to an abandoned counter in the dingiest corner that a public bus station could be capable of. The man gives you a nod indicating that anything that can be said has indeed been said. You find that the counter is elaborately decorated with cobwebs. It's a bit early for Halloween preparations, but at least someone's made an effort. At the moment, nobody seems to be there. You press your face against a plastic window to peer into the room behind. Hello? Hello, is anyone there? I have to go to Innsmouth. No one there. Suddenly out of nowhere, a bus ticket appears on the counter. Might the trip be free? I'm going to take the ticket. If I don't want money, I'm keeping it. I've got in-app purchases to pay for. Yoink. In all likelihood, the ticket was already on the counter and you simply hadn't noticed it before. Someone must have paid and just left it there. This is what you tell yourself while you are looking for the departure gate with the ticket in your hand. Where's the bus hiding? In between the polished greyhounds and travellers stowing their luggage, saying goodbye and dropping tiredly into their seats, there's a kind of dumpster. A dumpster with windows and wheels? No. It's actually a bus. It's a bit on the rusty side, and even from a distance you sense the strange smell it emits. Is that sulphur? You're not convinced how this thing is supposed to drive. In its vicinity, everything is noticeably quieter than at the other bus stops. The people getting on show no sign of emotion. Nobody is trying to jump the queue here. Instead, the passengers move past the bus driver at a uniform speed, one after the other, shuffling up the creaking steps. Each two-seater bench is occupied by individuals, as if they want to make sure not to come into contact with their fellow passengers. The sign clearly says Innsmouth. No departure times, no stopovers, just Innsmouth. Undecided, you're standing on the stairs of the bus. I mean, talk to the driver. I'm an investigator. You stop. The passengers behind you wait patiently. It's impossible to make eye contact with the driver. He stares rigidly at his steering wheel. After all, he seems to be a focused driver. Excuse me, sir. No reaction. You look over your shoulder and still the people in the line behind you remain calm. I don't know. I mean, I could show my ticket. I haven't paid for the ticket. I'm probably best just sneaking past in silence. He doesn't want to talk to me. I'll move on. That's fine. It seems this travel company doesn't take ticket enforcement so seriously. You decide to blend into the Translite Collective as inconspicuously as possible. Brrr. As you pass the driver, a cold shiver runs down your spine. Someone has overdone it with the air conditioning. Does this old clunker even have air conditioning? You shuffle sideways through the central aisle. You don't remember the bus looking this long from the outside. You are surrounded by shabby two-seater benches and some are already occupied. One traveller per row. The last bench is free. Looks like the upholstery is torn in some places though, or has it been slit open? You can see springs with sharp wire edges and some sticky liquid seems to have leaked onto the floor. Why didn't you just sit down in one of the free rows? Here in the back, almost everything is occupied. Most of the passengers seem to have purposely sat down in the aisle seats, blocking off the window seats. Maybe this is an opportunity to get a little closer to the common Innsmouth visitor. So I can sit down with someone, or I can go to the rear bench. I'm an investigator. Let's investigate someone. As a nonconformist, you join one of the passengers in a double seat. Since only one man was so considerate as to sit at the window, your options are limited anyway. As far as you can tell, the man is a haggard figure with barely any luggage. The hood of the grey jumper pulled far onto his face, the man looks out into the street as if something very important is happening there that requires his attention. "Is this seat taken?" you ask politely. He turns his head and gives you a brief once-over. Without saying a word, he turns away again. "Oh, I'm going to sit down anyway and screw him." Alright, that wasn't a no either. You sit down, and regret it instantly. The smell of sulphur is now overpowered by something else. Something that smells like it's been in the sun for too long. You're trying to catch a glimpse of what's under that hoodie. Does this person have a genetic defect? Is he malnourished? You're not sure exactly where the problem might be, but you're trying to stay professional. You awkwardly stare at the headrest of the person in front of you. I'm an investigator. Let's talk. This is a chance to get some inside information. Do small talk about veganism. Look the passenger over. Play the tourist. Let's play the tourist. We are so out of our depth right now. Let's just be overly happy about everything. Oh. You clear your throat before you speak. Twitching and with a slight tremor, the man turns to you. "Excuse me, I'm visiting Innsmouth for the first time. Do you happen to come from there?" A twitch is all you get. Maybe you should get right to the point. It's hard to tell if you're boring him. Tourism tips? I don't want to show my hand completely straight away. That'd be silly. So let's carry on with the happy tourist approach. Does Innsmouth have any sights? Your neighbour stares into the middle distance. Is he thinking? The silence between the two of you is hardly bearable. The beach, he finally stutters. Your eyes meet again. The old town, he adds. Well, that could have gone worse. The small talk has been gruelingly slow, and so you decide to let it go. This ride is taking forever. The bus leaves the country road and turns off at a wooden sign that says Innsmouth in red flaky letters. The journey continues rather bumpily along a narrow dirt road littered with numerous potholes. In the distance, some houses are already visible, seagulls circling the roofs of the outermost edge of the city. Slowly, your passengers take their bags out from under the seats and get ready. Curious, you look through the front window or the side window. We're going to wherever we're going to via the front window. I think it'd be good to gauge what's going on outside as we pass, because you're more likely to catch people in their natural course of things as opposed to putting on a show. So, side window. That's odd. The bus passes by a huge... What is this? A scrapyard? Parking lot? Why would something like this be here right outside the city? You pass another wooden sign whose half-peeled writing advertises the Innsmouth Park and Ride area. A lot of cars look like they've been sitting here for years. Sand covers some of the bonnets and windscreens. The front door of the bus opens with a squawk and you join the monotonous line of locals stepping out of the bus as if in daze. Almost walking in step, you all get closer to the exit. As you walk down the steps, you have to protect your eyes from the sunlight. Turns out the windows of the bus were tinted. The other passengers shuffle off. And there we go. We are in Innsmouth. And this, as the words come up on the screen, and I'm not going to read, is where we're going to leave this episode. We're going to have a mooch about, see what's going on, hopefully find the girl, and make some money. And obviously not die, but that's still up in the air. We'll see what happens as far as that's concerned. No promises. But for now, thank you for watching. As always, a like is appreciated, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy.